Welcome back. My name's Jen and I like to grow a lot of things in a small space and keep it neat and tidy. We're going to do a June garden tour and walk around and look at things in my garden, starting with my trellis here. Over here on the far left, I have some Dollar Tree planters. I put some green beans in it. They're stacked 3 tiers high and each tier has a different color. I have yellow, purple, and green beans. Then over here we have peas. I have 2 different kinds of peas growing. The really tall ones in the back are the snap peas, and the ones right here that you're looking at are snow peas. I actually found out I think I like snap peas better, so next year I'm going to focus more on that. But for now I have a ton of these snow peas and I've been cooking them up almost every day. Then the snap peas are back here in this corner. They're taller. I only had a few seeds, so I planted what I had. They're not ready yet, so we'll look at those next time. Now here I have all my strawberry baskets. I did plant one impatient in a few of these strawberry baskets because the strawberries were small and I didn't think I would get much out of them anyways, and I wanted some flowers. I just thought it would be cool. This one here is my Alexandria strawberry. It's my biggest one. There's only one in that basket. It produces really tiny berries though, so I'm not a fan of it. Then this one didn't have a variety listed on the tag. It just said strawberry. But I threw an impatient in there with it because I wanted it to grow up and see how it would look together. This strawberry, I think I have 3 of these. It's a quinault. I don't know if I said that right. Probably didn't. Anyways, these ones are everbearing and they are supposed to get larger berries. I'm starting to get some flowers, so hopefully I'll get some fruit soon. Then back there is a nasturtium. I just think it's pretty, brings in some pollinators, so I leave it there. Next up, we have these 2 containers that I got at Ollie's. I wasn't sure I'd like them. They just kind of snapped together and made this little square, but they work out really well, and I ended up putting some squash, basil, and nasturtium in each of them. So each one has 4 summer squash in it. I think there's 2 yellow and 2 green in each one. And then I put a nasturtium in the middle just to bring in some more pollinators. I also got a basil plant from, I think, Home Depot, and I cut it into a couple pieces and I put some of the pieces in there with those to have extra basil. Then there's this sad side of the trellis. I swear every garden must have like a disaster spot, and right now this is the disaster spot. So I did have like 3 pole bean seeds, so I put those in there. They seem to be doing okay. And there was lettuce on the outside. That's doing okay. It looks great. I'll probably try to harvest as much of that as I can because I want to clean this bed out soon. Then there's the sweet pea flowers. I've never grown sweet pea flowers, so it's probably something I did wrong here. They're just not thriving. They haven't produced any flowers yet. They've been in there for like weeks, and I figured they would produce flowers the same time the peas were producing peas, but nothing's happening. Then there's this marigold. It's just one plant. It's hard to tell, but these things are giant. It's an African marigold, and the plant itself is huge. Then you go back over to the right side, and I have another set of these Dollar Tree planters. They also have green beans, and again, each layer is a different color. There's yellow, green, and purple ones, and they're starting to get little buds, and I think they're doing great. Now we're going to swing over to the part I consider the vegetable garden. That's this spot along the house. It's a raised bed, and I try to jam pack as much as I can in this spot. So to start off with over here, we have this little fence hanger. It's not hung up here very nicely, but anyways. I made a little video about transplanting my portulaca, and I just wanted to show you it's starting to grow pretty nice. We've got a 3rd set of the Dollar Tree planters with green beans. Again, these are the same style as the other ones, have 3 different colors. They're all doing great. These 2 oblong planters on the side are a little project that I had. They have bulbs. It was a mixed set of pollinator bulbs from Big Lots, and they're doing great. Then in that little milk jug are some perennials. I'm not sure if they're Shasta daisies or coneflowers. I planted both, so I have to wait and see. And I had some fennel. Then in this section here, I've got different peppers. I have my leftover broccoli. These are the side shoots that are coming up. They're doing fantastic. I'll have to harvest those soon. And in the back, I have some petunias right here that I grew from seed and some marigolds. Again, this marigold plant is huge. Then I have celery. This celery, it's my first time growing it, and it has been doing awesome. Let me get you in here and take a look. Whoops, there's a leaf. Anyways, let's try that again. And they are doing so well. I'm so impressed with the celery and how it's growing. And I think this will just grow all season long. I keep harvesting from around the base and they're doing fantastic. Next up, I have some red leaf lettuce. This has been doing great. I've been harvesting it since about April. I do a cut and come again where I just take a few leaves that I need and I let the rest of the plant grow. Before we go to this next section here, let's take a look at this hanging basket. I started all this from seed. It's got some nasturtiums, some convolvulus, and I think a petunia in there. It's all doing fine. It's starting to bloom. You can see the pollinators are loving it. Here's some little guy on it right now. Oh, he's so cute. Alright, let's head to this second section here. There is a mum in the corner. I was overwintering it there, and then I was planning to take it out and it just stayed, so it's still there. Then we have my Brussels sprouts. I trimmed off all the bottom leaves, and you can see the little balls starting to form. They form where the leaf comes out. And I prune the leaves for multiple reasons. One, to get some air and some light down to some things underneath it. I also just like to keep it tidy because I grow them really close together, and it helps the plant focus on the little ball formation. Behind it I have some garlic. It's doing fine. I got one little ranuncula in there, and in the way back there's some marigolds. Then here I have a basil plant. That's one of those Home Depot basils. I had chopped it into about 4 or 5 sections, so that one's doing great. Here's a lettuce. This is butter crunch lettuce. They were looking a little wimpy until I pruned the Brussels sprouts. Now they have a little bit more air and light and nutrients. This thing here, I don't know what's wrong with it. It was a strawberry plant from Tractor Supply, but nothing ever grew. So I have new strawberries coming in. I might go ahead and plant those in there instead. This is another one of those Dollar Tree planters with some green beans. They're really hard to keep watered because they're so small and shallow. So I had separated them, and this one gets automatically watered right here, so it's perfect for that. Then on this third section, I've got some lettuce. This is a crisp head lettuce. I actually harvest it for the leaves, not the heads. Then I got some basil. This is a different type. It's called Spicy Globe Basil. And then here you can see my cabbage. I also pruned that to keep it kind of tidy and small because otherwise it gets way too big. But we've got some heads forming here. It looks so pretty. This is a red leaf cabbage. It's really a purple cabbage. I don't know why it's called red leaf. Anyways, they're all looking good and pretty and healthy, so I'm excited to harvest those soon. Then here I have some spinach. I don't remember what type of spinach I planted. I had 2, but I think for some reason only 1 sprouted, and so I used that kind. But anyways, here they are. There's 4 plants. One's kind of tucked down there. It's a little small. Then we have chamomile, or as one of my favorite YouTubers says, chamomile. That's my favorite. I don't know why. It's just so cute. But I love just randomly popping these little heads off and crushing them and smelling them. I just think they smell so good. They're so fruity and fresh smelling. Then back here in the corner, I have a gazania plant. I have one on each corner. I just thought they would thrive there and do well, so I put them there. And then there's some radishes I had tucked between these onions. The onions take a long time to get going and mature, and I'm hoping they'll get a little bit more sun when I get the cabbage out of there, but for now they're doing fine. And then on this 4th section of the garden here are my flowers. These are the sunflowers. It's hard to tell in this video, but I'm 6 feet tall, and these sunflowers are taller than I am if I stand up there. They're really tall. I have a little nasturtium in the front here. I might actually move it to my back porch eventually, but since it's getting watered, I leave it there. But these sunflowers, they're doing great. I didn't plant these. These seeds were left over from last year. I just sort of shook them off into the soil, and they all popped up this spring, and they're doing great. I did prune the stems of them so that the flowers underneath could get some light and some air. Then I have some cosmos, I put some wildflower mix in there too, so there's some of that. That's a ranuncula there. Let's see what else we have here. We have some cosmos. I have some different kinds of cosmos growing. Those two look really nice together. But that's the flower bed, and then here's the whole garden. It's been doing really well this spring. I'm really, really happy with it. Then if we go to the backyard here, let's go through the fence here. You can get a little peek at some of the flower beds. This one's my butterfly bed, which I did eventually cut those foxglove down after this video. Now we're going to go over here to the blueberries. These are the blueberries I made a video about planting. I put a few flowers in the blueberry pots because they looked a little bare, and I had extra flowers, so I put them there. But the blueberries are doing great. And then there's a little planter my husband made that I put some flowers in. I just want to show you this flower. I know we're more of like a vegetable and a fruit tour here, but these flowers are so cute. They're so weird. I've never seen them before. They're celosia, and now I'm seeing them everywhere around our town. So here's another blueberry plant. It's also doing well. We got some nice fat blueberries on there. And so far, I was worried about putting them here because the birds can easily access them, but so far I haven't had any bird problems with them. Maybe because they're not ripe just yet. But they're all doing really well. There's another planter box there. Then I have the grapes here in the corner. I'm going to let those grow up some, and then eventually we got to figure out a trellis for those. Then over here we have my fruit section. It looks a little clustered, but there is a reason to this madness. So there's a fig plant and there's 4 raspberry plants. They're different kinds. Actually, it's 3 raspberries and 1 blackberry. The fig plant does have some figs. I think these are called borage figs because they were on here in the spring and they're really slow to mature. I don't know if they will mature. I might end up having to just take them off completely. Then I have raspberries. They're doing great. I have hundreds of little raspberries that are about to be ready. And actually, since filming this video, I've picked about 15 maybe that have been ready. In these plants, I have a red raspberry, a golden raspberry, and I have a white raspberry. I haven't gotten any of the white ones yet, but it is looking better this year than it has in previous years. Then we're going to go in here to my greenhouse, and I'll give you a quick little look at this. On the shelf here, I have some portulaca that I had transplanted there. I got some dahlias, some mint. I try to keep the mint here so it doesn't go everywhere and go crazy. It was taking up this entire section, but I just trimmed it down. And that's spearmint. I do have some chocolate mint out in my garden, and surprisingly, they do smell different. Then I had some extra squashes I put in there. Got my seeds that I'm starting. I planted some potatoes. You can see those coming up around there. I got a little lemongrass there that I'm trying to heal. It's not doing the best. Then here are some mums that I planted, although they don't look what I consider to be mums, but that's fine. There's more potatoes in there too. Here's a little potato card. I was saving them, but they just kind of warped, so I'm going to get rid of those. Then here's some extra, oops, hold their string. These are some extra summer squash. Out in those ollie squares that are underneath my trellis, I had 2 seeds per section, and I just took the ones I couldn't part with just like cutting them out completely, so I took the extra ones and put them in here. And that's it. Thanks for watching.